So I thought, well, one chance in 1,000 is going to get Linda to the point, well, okay, just one remote chance, but no. Linda said, David, one chance in 1,000 that your brother is like a serial murderer? I mean, maybe we need to find the truth. I remember driving Linda back home and feeling enough upset that I actually went back to the library, the county library. I figured over a period of 17 years there'd probably be a lot of newspaper, magazine articles about the Unabomber. I actually wanted to find as many as I could, so I go back to the library. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Reader's Guide, but back then I don't think Google even existed, so if you wanted to find old newspaper, magazine articles, you got this big green book, you looked up your topic, you went to the librarian, she dredged the files out of the bowels of the library, and here I am ultimately with about a dozen articles spread out in front of me, reading, desperately wanting to find something in those articles which would prove that my brother could not be this terrorist. And at one point I remember glimpsing at this picture that a forensic police artist had created of the Unabomber. It turns out that in 1987, somebody had actually seen the Unabomber planting one of his bombs. He had come into the parking lot of a computer store in Salt Lake City, Utah. He was wearing a hooded sweatshirt, dark sunglasses, and it just turned out there was a secretary happening to look out her window, and she saw this guy and thinks, this is kind of out of place, what he's doing there, what's he doing there? She sees him stoop down and then walk away and thinks nothing of it. Until 2 hours later, her boss drives into the parking lot, sees this odd package, picks it up, and is blown 20 feet away. Almost killed by this bomb, miraculously survives what they call the ambulance, they call the police, and the police call the FBI, and bells are going off. This looks like a Unabomber event. So here I am 9 years later looking at the sketch that the forensic FBI artist did based on the description, her interview with the secretary, and it doesn't particularly look like my brother. I mean, it almost could be any generic male of a certain age. And then there's a physical description that described this person as 3 inches taller than my brother, estimated to be about 10 years younger than he was at that time, and a different hair color. So I'm thinking, thank God it's not Ted. I'm going to go home and share the good news with Linda. I remember going home, think about how we think cognitively and then emotionally, intuitively. I said, look, the picture doesn't look like Ted, the description doesn't match, let's forget about this. And somehow on an intuitive level, Linda just had a very, very powerful hunch that there was some connection between the Unabomber and my brother. She wasn't about to let go of it. Linda's a philosophy professor, so ideas are her world. Philosophy is her world. I had been an English major, so I'm sensitive